Today I'm going to discuss the importance of incorporating assistive or augmentative communication tools into the preschool classroom and the ways to encourage all staff working within the classroom on how to do this. As speech therapists working in the classrooms, we know the importance of integrating speech and language skills into classroom routines and activities. It is also very important to let everyone else in the classroom know how, when, and in what context they are able to help incorporate communication skills. We know that there are many opportunities for communication to occur in everyday life, specifically in the specialized classrooms we have set up. We need to be aware of the frequency of opportunities as well as the opportunities in different parts of the routine. For example, it is very easy to encourage requesting skills during snack time, where a student is motivated to request for wanted food or drink items. We know that we can get a lot of opportunities for requesting during this part of the routine. We need to be aware of ways we can incorporate requesting skills in other parts of the routine as well. It may be easy for us speech therapists to understand when and where we can encourage requesting skills, but it might not be as apparent for other staff working in the room. For this reason, it is important that we frequently model for staff in all parts of the routine the ways we would like for speech and language skills to be incorporated for our students. We know we need to modify our expectations based on student needs and skills. We wouldn't expect every student to ask for something the same exact way. Due to the diverse nature of our classrooms, we know that we have students who utilize assistive technology devices to communicate, and we have students who are able to ask for things using 4 or more word phrases. Because of the varied expectations of each student in terms of their communication skills, it is important that all staff are aware of the levels of students as well as our expectations as a speech therapist. We need to make sure everyone is on the same page in terms of what we are expecting for each individual student. This is very important because we don't want students who have higher capabilities to practice lower level skills than we know they are capable of. And on the other hand, we don't want to frustrate students by making our expectations way too high for them. We are not working with students every single day they are in the classroom. And because of this, we need to make sure the staff are able to carry over our strategies and work with the students on their communication skills when we are not there. We do, however, have to keep some perspective and understand that even though the team members we work with are very valuable and many of them have a lot of experience working with children and do understand their needs for the most part, they do not have the level of expertise that we do as speech pathologists. Just because we think something comes naturally to us in terms of capitalizing on communication opportunities does not mean that that comes as naturally to everyone in the classroom. We need to keep in mind that when we are determining our expectations for other staff members. Another thing we need to also be very mindful of is the job duties that they hold. It may not be very practical for them to require 10 requesting trials from a student when during that same routine, they also need to organize papers or folders for students. The paraprofessionals and teachers and other therapists working in the classrooms have very important things they need to do as well. It may be helpful to observe the things your paraprofessionals and teachers do during some of these good communicative opportunities and determine if there is something else that they can practically do with the students in terms of communication opportunities. As you are modeling some of these rich opportunities with students, it is important that you get the staff involved and have them practice this as well. Ask them for feedback and provide feedback to them if necessary. You can ask them if this is something they think they will be able to do with students and then follow up with them at a later date and see how it went without putting too much pressure on them. Because these valuable team members have many other things they need to do as well, you need to stay mindful of their extra effort needed in order to accomplish what you would like from them, and be respectful if they tell you that it might not be attainable. There may be some staff members who won't even try, however. This may be due to their lack of confidence in completing the tasks. In these cases, it is important to show them, have them practice, and let them know that they are capable of working on this communication skill with a student, and maybe make their role to work with one specific student instead of a larger group of students, and try to take baby steps with that individual who may be a little bit resistant. Another important thing to do is to provide reference material for your team. This can help team members in case they don't remember exactly how you modeled the skill, or they weren't there that day, or they just want an extra step-by-step in order to make sure they are doing everything in the right sequence. I'm going to show you in the next couple of slides some things I've developed in order to help integrate some of the assistive technology pieces in the classroom, and how I provided some reference material for all the staff members in the room. The first reference material is a door cue for the word open. We might think this is a very simple to ask a student to request the word open in order for us to open the door for them. However, this might be something that every staff member thinks about before leaving a room. I try to capitalize on every opportunity for communication, so that means every time I need to open the door or open a container or help open their snack or book bag, I am at the very least modeling the heck out of the word open. I will model and pause and wait for them to respond and imitate their request for students who might not have the ability to answer any kind of question about what do we need to do. I have this door cue broken up into higher level students and early learners, so the staff members can kind of reference, okay, what do I expect from a higher level student? So I have in this cue, can you ask what do you need to do while you pause and you hold the door handle? And then I have a series of prompts. You can give them a choice prompt. Should we knock on the door or should we open the door? And then model the word open the door and encourage their imitation of at least the word open, if not the entire phrase, open the door. Model the phrase 3 times, and if they still do not imitate after that third model, you would still open the door for them. For early learners, I have as a general cue to narrate your actions and describe what is happening. Prompts include model the door is not open. We need to open the door and say open. Model that word 3 times and then open the door even if it was not imitated. You can also model the sign for open, which is what the picture illustrates, which I will show you in the next slide, and then provide hand-over-hand assistance to help the student produce the sign if you need to. Or if the student is using an assistive technology device, you can prompt this. You can prompt them to point to the cue, or you can prompt them to indicate that symbol on their assistive technology device that they might have. So I have here the open visual. So this would be just something, and this is at their eyesight level, so they can easily point to it, reach for it, look at it, and touch it as a way to request. The next door cue is for the word go. So this is hanging on the door as well, and there are times when students are leaving the room. They are always going somewhere. So they are either going to the bathroom, home, or to the motor room or the gym. So for higher level students, you will ask them, where are we going? Because you probably have told them where they were going previously. So they might be able to answer that question. But if they don't, you can reference the visual and see if they can identify the answer of where they're going. You can prompt them if necessary. And so you can point to and then tell them exactly where they're going. So point to go and then the picture symbol of the location. Then you can ask them a follow-up question after to see if they remembered what you had already prompted them. For the early learners, you would model go and then the location. So if they're going home, you would just model go home and then point to the go and the home symbol on the next page. You would encourage but don't require their verbal imitation at this time, and provide hand-over-hand assistance for students to point to the word go and the location picture, or just go if they are at the one word level. And there is the door visual for go. As you can see, there's the picture of go, and then you can sequence that with another symbol below. The next visual is for requesting. This is key during snack time, but also in other parts of the routine. For a lot of our kids, our expectation is the communicative function of requesting, not necessarily utterance length. So for students who are working on requesting, there are lots of ways that we can expect a request. So I have a cheat sheet here, and this is located under our schedules for the day, and this is right across from our snack table. So it's very easy to reference as you are writing a snack table. So I just blew one up, excuse me, for you to see a little bit better. So we have students working on the single word request, 2-word phrases, single signs, sign sequences, and then single or sequenced pictures in a device or picture communication. And as you can see, these are on Velcro, so you can very easily move these from one spot to another as their communication skills increase over time. We also use assistive technology tools at Circle Time. We use scripts to help students ask others, what is your name? And my name is blank. We also have scripts for turn taking as well, because we do a turn taking routine in every single circle activity that we do. So we always have students to indicate if it's their turn and then whose turn is next. We also have a key ring with some simple emotions. We use happy, sad, tired, and mad. We use these at Circle Time sometimes. Sometimes we ask every student how they are feeling that day. And if they aren't able to come up with a response on their own, we can flip through the key ring and have them show us their emotion. And then we can maybe talk about things that make them happy or sad or tired or mad. But because this is on a key ring, we can also travel with this very easily. You can clip this onto your belt buckle or your lanyard and use it in other parts of the routine. So when conflicts arise during playtime, you can have students reference how they are feeling. If they're feeling mad because a student took their toy, they can show the other student and show us how they are feeling if they are not able to verbally express how they are feeling. We also have social stories that we use at Circle Time or in other parts of the routine. This is just one example, and these are helpful for students who are very visual learners and can look at pictures and recite the story back to themselves or to other friends to help them learn or understand a concept. This is our self-regulation script. We have this in our calming area, which has our big beanbag chair. This visual just helps students to see some options that they have when they are feeling upset. They go to their calm spot, they can do a body squeeze or deep breathe or get the weighted vest. These are Velcroed pictures, so they can easily take one of these pictures off and hand it to an adult in order for them to ask for help with whatever thing that they need help with. Maybe they need help breathing properly, or maybe they need the weighted vest and it's not in the area, or they need help getting it on, or something like that. We also have a yes-no visual. This is helpful for students working on yes-no questions, as well as indicating yes or no to a student if they are asking you a question. This is a sample play script we have in one of our play areas. So this is something that we can easily reference as they are playing. This is a restaurant type script in our kitchen area where we have a little table set up. It kind of looks like a diner and a cash register. So we have a lot of these different good vocabulary items that we can look at and talk about as we are playing and as the students are playing. As speech therapists, we do know that there's great value to the uses of assistive technology, and you don't have to think of technology as something with batteries or buttons, but as anything extra that is made or used with students to help them be better communicators or participators in any kind of routine activity. We know that students all learn very differently, and visuals do help learners, and they act not only as a means of understanding or learning skills, but as a means of communication for many of our students. they actually use these visuals and this technology as a means to communicate their wants and their needs and their thoughts. So we have to keep this we have to be very mindful of our use of these tools in the classroom. Teamwork in using assistive technology is crucial for all team members. We all have very important roles in the classroom, but we all need to support assistive technology and communication skill development. So it's very important that everyone is on the same page in terms of our expectations and our use of strategies in using these tools. We should also help to make all team members feel knowledgeable, empowered to help, and have a sense of responsibility for student growth in the area of communication. And it is very important that we are very grateful for our team, because you are not there every day of the week, and you are not there for every milestone that a student may accomplish in terms of their communication skills. It is very important that you can build upon the strength of your team members and be respectful of their job duties and help them understand that they are helping a child communicate every single day. It is also important that we as speech therapists continue to grow and learn new things. We have a lot of colleagues that we can collaborate with, and we should. We all have a lot of very valuable resources, and if we can combine some of these, we don't have to recreate or spend hours creating something that is already available to us. We should always be asking for suggestions if we know that one classroom or one therapist has had some experience in an area, and ask for feedback on what you're doing. Ask for a suggestion or a tip in working with a particular student who maybe you're having some difficulty with. We should always also be investigating new or alternative assistive technology tools or other devices that may be available to us, and share that information with each other. We don't all hear of the new things coming out at one time, so it's important to share that information, because we might each find something else valuable about that. I really hope that you found this helpful for your integrated speech therapy, and I hope you're able to use some of these tools in your classrooms and help your team members collaborate and work together on communication and using assistive technology in the classroom with every single student. Thank you.